think, of course, this ties into not only the games after the international break as the Champions League begins, and hopefully Ziyech and Pulisic will be ready to start games, and maybe we could see that front four that we just spoke about start a game for Lampard. Just want to sort of reflect, as I think the international break is always a good time to sort of look back at the first group of games that we've had so far this season. It's been a mixed bag in terms of performance, in terms of result. I think each game, it's been difficult to judge because I think each game has brought about different sort of problems for Chelsea, or just a different type of performance completely, what you expect from this Chelsea side, which was almost similar to last season at points. Just more of a general view on how you think the season has begun for Chelsea.
I think it's been okay. I think I'd give it an okay. I think there's definitely improvements to be made. I don't like to shield from what we need to improve on by saying, oh, Man City are not doing very well and they're dropping points. I prefer always to focus on us because, as we saw last season, the points tally was dropped by ridiculous amounts, where most seasons that wouldn't be the case. And I don't like to use other teams' problems to shield from our own, or same as really the other way, other teams' good form to downplay our good form if we're playing well. So I think it's just really cutting out the basic errors, first of all, individually from players. There's been a lot of individual errors that are just not needed, and I think that's why the new signings have come in, particularly Alonso in that game. I think Chilwell, that's why he was brought in. I don't think Lampard's confident in either left back behind Chilwell in terms of Emerson or Alonso. I think he would have got rid of either one if he could over the window, and unfortunately he couldn't. So we've got an overload there. Thiago Silva, for me, that mistake is partly because of, look, he's maybe coming in rough after just playing a Champions League final. He's had no time to really prepare, and he's just coming straight back into things as well. But also his body shape, because for me he should be on the right side, and I think we saw against Palace he was much more improved on the right side. That was a basic error from whoever decided, Lampard player, whoever had him playing at left side. For me, that was just a silly error, because the whole of the season with PSG has been playing on the right side, and we've got Zuma to play on the left side. We've got Tomori to play on the left side, so there's no need to be putting Thiago Silva on the left side again. I know because maybe he's more fancy on the ball, he's a better ball player and centre back than the rest. Just think, okay, maybe we'll put him on the left side and make it more comfortable for a right footed on the right side. But Zuma's been playing left side all last season, mainly when centre backs have come in to play alongside. Tomori definitely has been playing left side, so just put the best centre back for me on the right side, Thiago Silva, and let him play his game, because it's all about body shape. It's very small little details in that, but body shape, the way that you approach the ball when you're about to tackle or you're about to make a pass. He's obviously used to playing that side. I wouldn't put John Terry on the right side after his whole career playing on the left. So for me, that was just a silly error that kind of we shot ourselves in the foot with that one. And then obviously injuries as well have obviously played a part. The fact that we haven't had everyone fully fit, but still with the players we have available, I was looking at the starting 11 against West Brom. That's more than good enough to beat West Brom, So we need to improve ourselves as well. I won't use injuries to shield from the fact that we should be winning against West Brom. The Liverpool game is just unlucky. We was in the game, man sent off, and we're playing against the best team in the country, so I let that one go. So yeah, there's been some good points and some bad points, but I think overall it's just an okay. And I think I'm just waiting for us to improve over the international. And regardless of who's available, who's not, we just need to be grinding out points and making sure we're as close to the top four as we can be. We don't want to drift away and have to play catch up.
Do you think that people expected a bit too much at the start of the season because of all the extravagant new signings, sort of the ambitions and sort of things we've been talking about like sort of thinking about the link up of certain attacking players and sort of this very fluid formation and sort of more goals, more attacking expression? Do you think we, as fans, because of not sort of compensating for the no pre-season for these players, and gelling all these players in at a very quick time, to be honest, turnaround between last season and this season, is it a bit too much to expect that they're just going to instantly snap like that? Or do you think there is a bit more to critique, actually, rather than just the excuse of no pre-season?
The problem is that the players have been not playing in their strongest position. So I've mentioned Thiago Silva, Havertz on the wing sometimes, Mount playing on the wing. Because we haven't, for me, been utilising our players always to the best of their ability, and that goes for last season as well, when Mount was playing out of position. I feel like I spoke about this in a video, but I feel like sometimes we hang him out to dry because we play him in a position that he's not strongest in. He's very young. Yeah, he's very versatile, but then I don't expect the same level of performance from him. He's also not being rotated as much until the last game where he was finally dropped and given a rest. And that will bring his performance down as well. And when you lump onto the fact that he's young, he's going to be inconsistent regardless, then you're just setting him up to fail sometimes by playing him that many games, playing him out of position. You're asking for an issue there. So, because of those things, that's why I kind of meet it halfway. I don't expect us to be 100% fluid. I don't expect us to be, playing free flowing football from the beginning. That's something that needs to be worked on in the training ground with all these new players. But I do expect us to give ourselves a chance. And when you play, players out of position, you make individual errors against West Brom. I mean, regardless of where we are, we should always be beating West Brom, then it's on the players and the manager to fix up in that regard, because we should have been beating West Brom. And then if we beat West Brom, then I think we've had a very good start to the season. But that game alone is the difference, because that's 2 points dropped really against a team that's just come up, and it's silly because you saw how we played in the second half. We managed to bounce back, so the quality was there. And obviously HUDSON-ODOI comes into this because a lot of people will feel he should have been playing on the wing. I definitely feel like that. And we had only one fit winger available, but we're playing a midfielder out wide. So there's a lot going on there.
Do you concern about sort of Lampard's shifting in terms of, I guess, also formation? But to be fair, so far this season, it's been pretty consistent 4-2-3-1 at the moment. And I think he's going to continue with that. I think, on top of that, the defensive sort of shifting, I mean, I think it's one of the big things for me this season of him really nailing down a back five. Not in terms of having a three at the back if he wants a three at the back, but just in terms of the back four, the goalkeeper. That may be difficult with Mendy's injury, but just for the short term. Yeah. But that was a concern for me within the opening games of the season. If you bring in the Carabao Cup games as well, shifting that back four and back two, do you think Frank now will stick with the back four we saw against Crystal Palace, because it worked very, very well?
Yeah, I mean, for me, he has to. If Mendy's fit, then he has to. I think the only minor change that I'll be open to is maybe James coming in. I think him and Azpilicueta will be quite. It'll be a hard run for them this season, them two competing against each other. Azpilicueta gives you a bit more of a solid base to work from in terms of defensive, but Reece James is more your modern fullback that can get up and cross, and I think we're going to need both at times. So I'm okay for rotation there. I think the centre backs cannot be rotated unless they need a rest. Thiago Silva, obviously, he'll need to be managed. He can't play every single game this season. But I just want to see, if we're going to play Zuma left side centre back, keep him left side centre back. Don't move him. Chilwell really shouldn't be moving at all. Goalkeeper shouldn't be moving. Thiago Silva, if you've got to take him out, cool. Take him out, put a centre back in there every now and then. Maybe, if he needs a rest, no more than that. And right back at the same. But I don't want to see centre backs switching from right side to left side. If they've been playing a lot left side, leave them left side, because that messes up the chemistry and the communication between the left side of centre back and the left back. So ideally, I'd love Zuma and Chilwell to start forming some sort of partnership now. That shouldn't change. And the same on the right side. Whoever stays on the right side should remain over there as well. Thiago Silva's obviously learning English, but Azpilicueta can speak French. Zuma can speak French, and then Zuma can speak English to Chilwell. So it's a nice little chain we've got there. Mendy obviously shouldn't move in goal. There should be no reason why anybody else should be playing in goal. So yeah, I think we just need to keep it consistent. And if we have a spell of maybe a couple of games when we're not playing well, for me, just hang on, just keep going with it, because I don't really want to keep seeing too many changes. We used every combination in the book last season, and it didn't really get us anywhere. So we know who's good, we know who's not. For me, keep it the same, and I think there's only a few players that can come into that I'm confident in. I'm not confident in Emerson or Alonso to come in at left back. I would actually put Azpilicueta in over there if Chilwell got injured or anything. And in centre back, again, for me, Christensen can be very inconsistent. Tomori, I have a bit more faith in because he's a lot younger with the potential. Rudiger I wouldn't have anywhere near the team when it comes to coming into the team. I know you feel differently on that one, but for me, Rudiger I wouldn't have into the team, and not just for ability, but also because it's very clear that they were trying to ship him out now. I think his head might be elsewhere now, I wouldn't say him or Tomori are happy with their situations in terms of being maybe fifth or fourth choice. I don't think either of them plan to be here. I mean, Tomori did reject a West Ham loan, so maybe his head's in the game a little bit more, but I don't think Rudiger planned to be here. And it's very ruthless, you know, what they've done with Rudiger. And I do feel a bit sorry for him on a personal level, because he was used as this, publicly anyway, as this agent Rudy. He's going to bring in Timo and Kai. He's part of the announcement as well. I think he did the announcement video for Kai. And then he's almost told that he's got to go. You know, he's not in the plans. And I'm not surprised he's not in the plans, because for me, I never thought he was good enough to lead the back line, and he just wasn't bringing enough as the most experienced defender. But after all of that, even I'm very shocked that they decided to just try and get him out immediately. I thought they'd give it a year at least, to not only blood in the German players that have come in, but also just because it looks bad. So it's quite surprising. But I think Frank, it's quite clear he's being a lot more ruthless this year. He's not interested in the sentimental the sentimental side of it. He's not interested in just bringing through youngsters. He knows the pressure's gone up this season for him, and whether it's fair or not from the fans, I think it's from the board as well. I think, you know, when you spend that much money, you get so many players in that you want, the pressure's up. So I think he feels that, and I don't think he's not playing around this season. If he wants someone gone, then he's going to make it quite clear to the board that, yeah, this is the person you need to get rid of.